In this preview, I'm going to go ahead and fly another leg of the Iditarod 2024 route. This flight plan is available to download at simflightplan.com/download. Actually, I think it's on our community page as well. I'll put a link in the description box so it's ready to load and world map and fly. Now, the one off the website starts you back at Anchorage. If you saw the previous video, I flew as far as Finger Lake and landed in the snow on the skis. And then this next leg is over, I guess, what would be the foothills of the Denali Range. I guess it's part of the national park, but in any case, Denali is up here, the mountain itself, and then we're essentially in the lower portions of the range, which is still 5,000–6,000 feet. Some of these, we'll check them out on the way. If you want to follow the route exactly, you can open the Iditarod website. This is Finger Lake to Rainy Pass. The link to this page is also part of the download at simflightplan.com/download. So I'm probably going to cover Finger Lake to Rainy Pass to Roan. I'm going to try and make it to Nikolai. So that's 130, 140 miles. For the dogs, it's probably more like maybe 100 or under 100 as the crow flies between the airstrips, but we're getting into some really remote country. If you read through the narrative, there's an overview, but if you go down, this takes you turn by turn on the entire run to Rainy Pass. It's pretty remote stuff. Basically what they do is come up from the lodge here, follow the lake, cross over, and then they follow the bottom of this ridge line all the way to, I think this is the Happy Creek Gorge. Then they follow the creek bed all the way up to Rainy Pass, which you really can't find the trails itself on most of this route because the satellite imagery is just not good enough. Trail's back here somewhere, but we'll see in Flight Simulator. We were able to spot the trail in several other areas. This should be pretty easy to follow where the trail should be from the air. Not so easy for the dog sleds. So let's go ahead and load it. If you didn't see the previous video, we landed here at Finger Lake on our skis, and I saved my spawn position here instead of all the way back at Anchorage. So I'm just picking up where I left off. And as I mentioned, I'm going to try to follow the Mushers path. It should be right up through here. I think maybe they come up this ravine and then they follow this ridge line. So let's see if we can spot the trail. I'm ready to take off. So again, these flight plans are free to fly for everyone, so just download them off simflightplan.com/download. I'll include the link to the Iditarod in the description of this one. Pretty rough. Whoa, see if I can get airborne before I beat up my plane anymore. There's the lodge, and according to the narrative, the Mushers come up the ridge line here to Red Lake, and then I think they actually run on Red Lake because of course it'll be frozen. And then basically they talk about climbing up these steps. I mean, there's a few little spots that look like it could be trail over here, but I think there was also some little stuff that kind of looks like trail over here too, so it's hard to say. But according to the detailed description on the website, the trail runs right along the ridge line up there, probably somewhere between where I'm flying and the ridge line. Now, if you're going to fly direct to Rainy Pass, you're going to have to clear that ridge line, which I think's at about 5,000 feet, 3,200 feet, 3,600 feet. So you're going to have to be above 4,000. Now, I think the Mushers stay closer to the ridge line is what it sounded like. Probably the easiest path for them would be down in this little valley here. And if you read through the narrative, it sounds like a rough go all through here. Rainy Pass itself is past the lodge. You can actually find what's quote-unquote officially Rainy Pass up here somewhere. Halfway Lake, so I guess it's higher than that. Oh, there we go. Pass Creek, Rainy Pass Lake, Rainy Pass. So this is Rainy Pass here. Rainy Pass Lodge, the checkpoint is down here. And there's our airstrip. Oh, I see some buildings down there. I suspect in real life there's nothing down there. No, I don't see any facilities, but it's fairly straightforward to land on. It's not as bad as the satellite imagery would have you believe. You switch to satellite, it's pretty nondescript, but I guess, yeah, I guess there may be homes. But in the X-Cub, that's no problem. Probably land a caravan there. Wouldn't try it at night. And then we'll fly the direction the dog teams have to go. I think they have to go up this way and meet up with Pass Creek, where I was just showing you on the map. Of course, if you want to go up and over, you got some serious climbing to do. Yeah, you're going to have to be over 5,000 to have any prayer. So you could actually fly up this ravine off my nose and end up in the same place, but I'm going to continue to follow the path of the mushers. They come up through this valley, I'm pretty sure, which is the one off that direction over here, as opposed to off our nose. This is a steeper climb up over these, which you could certainly make in the X-Cub. Oh, we got a 7-knot crosswind. This is the way to the Rainy Pass. And somehow the mushers have to get up through here. I don't see anything that looks like a trail or even remotely like a creek bed, really. There's a creek down there somewhere, though. Well, so down through there is where the mushers go. I mean, I don't see a trail, but again, you can kind of see where the creek bed is based on the elevations. I mean, there's nowhere else to go. They have to go through here somewhere. Winds are getting up around 12, 15 knot through here. I've got the weather set to clear skies. This should be Pass Creek, I think. Pass Fork of Dalzell Creek. So we're just at Dalzell Creek up this way. The mushers just follow the... What is this? The Tatina River. And I think right below us somewhere is a really nasty section of the trail coming down through this gorge. Oh, and your airstrip would be straight in, right off my nose. And it looks like that whole section of the river is frozen up, so got as long a run up as you want. Little rectangular section of the cutout there, I presume, is our runway, quote unquote. Obviously no facilities there. So our next one's Nikolai Aerodrome, which I think is a legitimate airport. Now, well, I mean, it may be, but it doesn't have an ICAO. Our next airport with an ICAO code is McGrath. But Nikolai is 50 miles through basically no man's land, as I recall. Yeah, this is right where we come out of the Denali Range, and now this is just no man's land out here. There's just nothing. 12-knot tailwind now, so making really good time anyway. Well, I guess it's safe to say that this was the section they were talking about, the brutal winds, because they're here, and this is without live weather turned on. Be interesting to see in March with live weather how this is. Might be too much for the X-Cub. Yikes, I'm icing up pretty bad. I want to do a whole lot of climbing with all this ice on my airplane. Alright, once I got out over the open plains and picked up some speed, the ice seems to have sloughed off my plane. If you fly either the Cessna or the Porter, the Pilotus, I think they both have anti-icing. At least in this version of the Cub, there's no de-icing or anti-icing. Well, according to the satellite imagery, Nikolai Aerodrome doubles as a road. Looks like they got a helipad as well, maybe. Oh crap, my airspeed, guess my pitot tubes are frozen. Yeah, we got no airspeed. At least my warning still works. So I got 13 miles to Nikolai, and I think that's as far as I go till my plane thaws out. Got 11 miles to the airport, but since I have no idea what my airspeed is, I'm gonna slow down way early and get my flaps out, try and figure out where my stall speed is. Oh good, we're thawing out a little bit. My airspeed's back. Still can't see out my windows though. So if you don't want to freeze over, I think you need to stay below 2,000, which basically puts you at the treetops. Oh good, it's kind of foggy too. Yeah, so I'm gonna take a nice big looping approach at the runway here, which looks to be 2.5-ish. With all the ice on my airplane, I don't want to drop out of the sky like a brick. Oh wow, well in flight sim it's paved. And nice and long. Well, I was expecting snow, so I had my skis down, but unlike the satellite imagery, the runway is paved. I'm trying to see if there's any facilities. Looks like there's an aircraft over by the light. Is that fuel? Yeah, there's fuel. So contrary to the satellite imagery, in Google, Flight Simulator is actually giving us fuel, parking. This gets us from Finger Lake to Nikolai, which is not even halfway. It's maybe more than a third of the way. This flight plan is available on simflightplan.com/download. This happens to be our community download. If you go to the website and on our community page, the Iditarod North route is the featured downloads ready to load and fly starting in Anchorage, and the link to the Iditarod race map is right here. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe.